Adrian, what's up?
Hello, everybody.
Adrian, good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too. Everybody, this is a special edition of Multifamily Chronicles. We have in the house Chris Moreno from live from Blueprint. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Adrian. I love your show and all the guests you've had. I've actually seen a couple here too, which is pretty awesome. They talked about you.
Hey, tell us about tell us about Blueprint, Chris. You know
Yeah,
what brings you there? What's exciting that's going on out there? And then let's talk about that. Put it into a multifamily frame, right? What should be
yeah.
expecting from a multifamily perspective, right there? What's good for multifamily?
Good question. So first off, what is Blueprint? I like to say a couple people described it as it's like LinkedIn in real life. So it's already a lot of the people we know and you interact with in business. Maybe you've been on the Zoom call and you actually now get to meet them in one place. And the unique thing is that everyone is so welcoming in the prop tech and climate tech and operations world that you can literally walk up to someone and say hello, and they're welcoming, happy to have a conversation. People are making introductions. It's really an incredible and collaborative environment. I'd also say this is like when you're thinking about the types of people who are here, I think about it in a few ways. I think there's kind of like four distinct roles that are here. You have like your CEOs, of course, and they're thinking about the overall business and things that move their business forward, and or even meeting with LPs and investors and even sometimes founders that they're supporting. You have the CTOs who are here, like the chief technology officers, who are thinking about innovation, whether it's Graystar, JLL, even like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, like actually owners are here, but also the management teams. So you have the CTOs from management companies who are also here, and they're sharing like Avalon Bay is on stage right now behind me. You have Modern Ventures leading this session. You have, I think, Nuveen is here. So many of these massive multifamily owners are here at the conference. They're heads of innovation. Karen Hollinger from KKR, formerly at Avalon Bay. These people who just live and breathe technology and are leaders in the multifamily space. The last one I think is really there's two others. The third one is the COO. So a lot of operations, maintenance, facilities management, the people who are thinking about day-to-day operations at a multifamily property, they're here. And then lastly, you have CMOs. So a lot of like the CMOs are here to look at marketing, leasing, looking at their churn and their communication using AI and bots. So it's not just hardware, it's not just software, it's kind of a combination of everything.
That's quite great. I wanted to ask you, Chris, what is, do you have anything that you want to bring up right now that's going on with multifamily tech
Yeah,
related, especially to maintenance? Because that's kind
yeah,
of my background, that's my field, right? And it's
yeah.
one of my passions, of course, being in a field for 20 years.
So I'm gonna walk through here and show you a few. So like here is an example of like mighty buildings. And so one of the things that's interesting now, this is probably more targeting construction and redevelopment, but they've created these new types of walls, which is really interesting to see. So again, Mighty Buildings is a company that's been around for a few years. You've got this other company that stood out to me, which is called, I think it's pronounced Mava, and they take recyclables for reconstruction and reuse at apartment buildings. So really interesting stuff. There's people who are creating, there's like right over here, a company looks like Unicast, trusted insights on locations. I'm gonna keep walking. I'll show you a few things this way. Right here, there's a company named Fixed, right? That does commercial property operations and software. I think they actually got an investment from RATV Ventures, which is a big multifamily fund that's backed by a lot of the multifamily folks, similar to like Modern Ventures. If I walk around, so I'm going to walk around, I'm going to show you a combination of some things. You've got Adam, they have a really cool kind of banner here talking about all the operations things and data on your property. Data solutions, so you're seeing like a lot of data solutions. This is kind of cool too. You've got this bot for operations to help teams on site. And the idea between a lot of the robotics you're seeing here isn't to replace the humans on site, but there's oftentimes a lack of, as you know, there's cost cuts. There's people who aren't showing up to work. There's humans need time off. Well, the robots don't. So the robots can still go around the property, find issues, and say, hey, there's a water leak over here that we caught on camera. That's a priority over the 17 other things that the person's doing. And it pings them immediately with what to do. And what that ties into isn't just a better experience for the resident, helping support the management staff, but it also really helps the maintenance and operations so that they're not falling behind or they don't get, a red flag from someone or a complaint from someone. The robot can help them. Something else that stands out there, though, is robotics for security. So if you think about not just maintenance, but also operations and security, I think a lot of times maintenance people, you could probably speak to this, maintenance people are oftentimes the first line of defense when something happens at a property, whether it's in the parking garage or something else. They see it. They're helping the residents. The residents are asking them questions. Well, now they have robots that are doing security patrols at the properties and to find these things. And then this is kind of cool. This is, I'm going to walk to the other side, so I don't want to leave it, but this was one of the coolest things I saw. They're selling to multifamily, and I never really thought about this. It's a phone booth that is like really high end. And the idea is because so many people are working from home, they're sitting in these open air areas, having phone calls and annoying each other. So residents are literally getting pissed at each other because they're having conference calls at the pool and stuff. So the idea is that the property, I guess, can put these in, and there's like, it's pretty cool. I'll show you. They have high-tech screens. It's not on right now, but the booth isn't open yet, but they have lights up there. It does it's incredible. And it syncs to your computer. The screen goes up and down. But it's one of the coolest pieces of tech that I saw here. And the idea is to create a better experience for residents who are now spending way more time at their apartment building than they ever were in their time. So yeah, I'll pause there because there's so many things I can show you, and I'm gonna start walking down the hall.
Yeah. What do you see for trends within the next 12 to 18 months, Chris, based on what you see here, and also based on what your expertise is? Because this is just the event, like a big event, but you're living and breathing prop tech, so technology.
I think this is a trend. There's a company here I'm going to call out. Their team is actually here. I think it's pronounced Fixel. So Fixel, they're doing the black box of home services. So whether, I think one of the key things is if you're a resident in your home, I don't care if you own a home or you're a resident apartment, you want services. And I think that how do you unlock services at all levels? Is it just Class A? What about Class B, Class C, and other levels? So you're going to unlock all of these different things. Hey, Rob, what's up, bud? The founder who just walked past me, he's doing a payments app and helping not just with payments for, it's not so much the payments of rent, he's actually helping with maintenance expenses, which is crazy. So operational expenses and helping to streamline that. So I really think about how can we help not just on the front end of the resident, but how can we help on the back end for people to be more efficient and it not costing an arm or a leg? So how do they actually come to market with these different technologies where I think a new way they're trying to come to market is saying, hey, property owner or CFO or maintenance team, we're going to save you so much money and we're going to show it to you that even when you pay us a fee, it's going to be such a cost reduction in using our software. So I think that's the biggest thing I'm seeing, number one. And they have to be able to prove it, right, to the ownership. If they can't prove it, then most people right now are saying we can't afford that this budget cycle. So that's probably number one. Number two, I would say a lot of data and analytics and how do you actually use it? So dashboards, there's a company here called Arrivo. And they're allowing, they say, hey, there's plenty of data. You can get data in a lot of places. What they've done is been able to make the data actionable. So when you actually are downloading your documents or materials or things, it actually tells you, here are the things you need to watch for. Here are the dates coming up of compliance on maintenance updates or your elevator, certifications. So they're reading the documents and then telling people, here's the exact things you need to action on. And oh, by the way, here's some great metrics for your upcoming meeting. Here's some bad metrics you better watch out for. So I think that's really smart.
Chris, I'd like to get you back on our show to do a full episode when things, settle down, to talk about this whole event, this whole amazing thing that's happening, and also about the world of tech in general. You gotta be on Multifamily Chronicles. We want your expertise, we want your brain out there. And
absolutely.
I could sense that if I just shut up, right, you could speak like about this stuff for hours. Like I have that feeling. You're giving me that feeling that could literally, it's just like, is there anything you don't know about what's going on? It doesn't seem like it. So I'm fascinated by, by your passion and everything that's going on out there. I feel like a part of me, a small part of me, just out there on a trade show floor. So that's pretty cool. And I think others they're going to watch this episode are going to share the feeling, right? It's going to be exciting for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll give you an example here. Is like you have the one-to-one meeting area, which is brilliant. Is that they make it so that the tracks on the far side lead into the expo hall, and when you have your one-to-one meetings, it's all here in the middle of the hall, which is so smart. So like, not only is it a great event, and then the food is on the far side with the main stage. So I think other trade shows, this may be one of the best set up trade shows I've actually experienced in my life. And I've probably been to well over 300 or 400 trade shows in my life, which is insane. And many of them you have to walk too far. It's hard to find people. So they have these innovation areas with startups. They have the bigger companies over here. But then over here, like you asked me something else, like, I want to go back to the robots. There's other robot sections over here, bot built. You have these robots that can help you with different things and tracking. So I think things that we're going to see helping the humans at our property and then get that data back to the corporate office. And even like this, I didn't mention there was a whole climate tech time. So we'll talk more about that. But Brendan Wallace and Fifth Wall did a whole great thing on the first day about climate tech and where it's heading and the metrics. American Family Ventures and Tinny 110 did a whole breakdown of some of the statistics and where things are going and how we're going to have to think about HVACs and the heating and cooling and water and all these things at properties. And then Rego, a company I just discovered over here, they actually come in and help properties with all the junk. All the trash is horrible, so they actually help with recycling goods when people are moving out of their units. So I'm going to put over here too, because I think I had mentioned to you, you have this great innovation stage. So I think more conferences should be doing this. I think it's something I'd love to see at like NMHC or NAA. And the multifamily side is having an opportunity for short 5-minute pitches by startups or companies on innovation and what's happening. But it's kind of tucked in the corner, so it doesn't overtake the conference, but allows people who want to go see it, and allows small startups to be able to kind of share their story. You got this fun like coffee bar over here. People can like sync up, and then cool companies over here as well. But yeah, it kind of like bleeds out. You even have an international area, so people can see what's going on in other countries, and then companies who might be coming to the United States. And then back over here are the sessions that are going on live right now. It's early in this right now. It's only 9:30, so a lot of people are probably still asleep, which is funny. Yeah. This is on the real estate ESG push going on in the background here.
Chris, thank you very much for showing us around, for taking the time out of your busy day. I know that you have like 935 meetings today?
Not quite that many, but it's a lot. Yeah.
That about right? I'd love to get you back on a show to do a full episode, like an entire hour about just prop tech. It's a subject that I'm so passionate about, and you have so much to offer, my friend.
Awesome.
Any final thoughts?
No, just it's always great to catch up with you. We got to see Mike from Mike Brewer from from Redco. So it was great to see some the other podcast folks and people from the industry. So and a lot of Atlanteans, but a lot of people from all over the country here.
I really appreciate, Chris, taking us in on your journey out there in Vegas. For those of us that weren't able to make it to the conference, and again, let's do a recap. Let's do a full episode soon. Love it. Stay hungry. We'll talk soon, my friend. Everybody, thank you for watching us and watch this special edition of Multifamily Chronicles. I'm Adrian Danila, your host, having Chris Moreno out here from Vegas live. Have an amazing day.